Good afternoon, everybody, and sorry that I am not live until now, but we're ready. Oh, wait. I'm so unprofessional. Hang on. Wait, no. I started this completely wrong. No. Just no. Let's do this right. I need to mute this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bentley. Happy birthday to you. That's right. Another day, another birthday, this time of one of my many nephews. Have you seen a Bentley is how you know him on Twitch. So if you click on his name in my stream title, give him a follow. But yeah, Bentley, I hope you have a wonderful 18th birthday. In fact, you've sent me messages on Discord. Let's have a look at those. Oh, he's wishing me a nice day as well. There we go. But yeah, happy birthday, buddy. I'm not gonna sing again. Just watch the VOD, all right? Or do the brand new rewind of Twitch. Like, people that are subscribed to me can rewind the stream now, which is cool. If you miss a certain moment that you want to clip, I do want to make it super clear that you don't have to, like, you won't have to be a subscriber forever. And this is not a limitation I've imposed. This is something Twitch are doing in their phased rollout of the rewind feature. Eventually, the ability to rewind a Twitch stream will be available for all viewers and all channels. But at the moment, it's only like Twitch affiliates and partners that can set it up. And then on the viewer side, you have to either be a member of Twitch Turbo or have a subscription to the channel that you want to be able to rewind. So, yeah. Anyway, now that that's all done, let's get the game audio back on, because I recognize you cannot hear the game, because neither can I. And we'll get on with Battlefield Triple XP. The goal is to get to through tier 50 today. If we can get through tier 50, oh, thank you for the happy birthday. It's Cal, right? Yeah, you were here the other day. Do forgive me if I'm getting you confused. Oh, yeah, and also thank you for the subscription. That's huge. But yeah, you should, in fact, you can now tell me, is it possible to rewind the stream now? Depending on what you're watching on, the answer might be no. It is? Oh my god, they have it on my channel? Yay! Well, I tell you what, rewind this. Thank you for the subscription. And then if you rewind it, you'll be thanked again. How awesome is that? And then you can click live to go back up to date. But anyway, yeah, times are wasting. Let's, that's dope. Yeah, it is. Let's get on with the battlefield, shall we? Now, I'm gonna warn you right now, the stream might end up being a bit boring. Why? Because it's gonna be the same map and same game mode. Probably all stream. Unless people end up joining me and then demanding other maps. But I worked out through trial and error over like the last few streams and the previous weekend that I seem to get the most points in specifically breakthrough on Iwo Jima, which is the new map added in update 9.2. I can get about 4 circles of progress per game, 3 or 4. which is pretty big because that means after every 3 games, we complete a tier of this free pass, which there is only 9 days and 23 hours left to complete, and there are 60 tiers to get through. As you can see, we are almost halfway through tier 46. But I'm only really playing this during the weekends because it's triple XP. Playing it during the week, you only get 1 pip of progress per game, and that is just too much of a grind. Endless thank yous. It's great. Thank you again for joining as well. Again, this stream might end up being very boring to watch because I'm going to be approaching the matches in a specific way. We are going to be trying to maximize the amount of points per game. The way we kind of do that in Battlefield 2042 specifically is that in every match we can only get no more than 15 ribbons. And you get ribbons for specific
looks like we're ready to rumble.
Helping your team in specific ways. I'll break it down as we go.
This is an all boots
but
on
if
the
you
ground
look
scenario.
here, the intel ribbon.
Iwo Jima back from TPC forces occupying the area. Survivors from
I'll
the
just
Japanese
let this
military
spiel
have cut
end.
us an entryway past the coalition's initial defenses. Take advantage and reclaim that territory. It's on you, Nopats.
If you look, we get the intel ribbon from spotting and EMPing, and then we get the wingman ribbon from any assist or revive. So I'm gonna start as Casper, a recon with a drone, because what we can do is we can fly the drone, spot enemies, and then if any of the enemies I spot get killed by a teammate, that counts as a spot assist. So in other words, just highlighting enemies for the team is going to help us get the intel ribbon, and then the wingman ribbon is going to be from the enemies that I've spotted getting killed by a teammate. And we can only get 3 of each type of ribbon, like, during the match. So once I've got 3 intel ribbons and 3 wingman ribbons, I'm gonna swap away from being Casper and then swap to support, and I'm gonna go for the logistics ribbon of healing people and resupplying them. There's our first wingman ribbon now. You may be wondering, why did I get that? Well, it's because I'm in a vehicle and someone else who was a passenger in the vehicle managed to kill another player on the enemy team. So as soon as when anybody in a vehicle gets a kill, everyone in that vehicle benefits. But I'm gonna get out now because the vehicle's likely to be destroyed. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang out back here and get spotting. So as you can see, the points just come flying in. Literally. Enemy spotted, enemy spotted. Oh, they shot my drone down.
All objectives are under our control. Sector secured.
Okay. Oh, thank you for subbing with Prime Alpha. You should be able to rewind now. Cal confirmed it, because Cal subscribed. Thank you for subbing specifically during September. That means discounts for those that have paid. But obviously Prime, it's always free. But yeah, it also basically is going to count towards my next payout, which should be in mid-October, which is awesome. I'm gonna be honest with you all, I'm nothing but a transparent streamer. You know what the payout is gonna do? Help me pay for like Flight Simulator 2024 at the biggest discount possible. And yes, I plan to stream the hell out of it. But yeah, that's where it's gonna go. So thank you very, 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 very much. You're on the mobile app. As it stands, you cannot rewind. Okay, Cal is on the website. Confirmed that rewind is present on my channel. So thank you, Cal. So you could load the website on an iPad in the Safari browser, for example, or whatever browser app you wish to use. But yeah, it's not in the app yet. I imagine they probably won't add it to the app until they roll it out to every viewer and channel without needing to be a subscriber. I don't think they should keep Rewind locked behind either Twitch Turbo or channel subscriptions. Because even though that potentially would mean more money for streamers like me, because there would be an extra incentive to subscribe, the thing is, YouTube doesn't charge anybody for the ability to rewind a live stream, and therefore, if they're serious about competing, they should not put Rewind behind a paywall. That being said, I understand why there's a paywall for now. Because even though it might not seem like it, any kind of like feature rollout on a global website, it's all gonna generate extra traffic just for that like rewind to even be a thing. And obviously, in order for you to be able to rewind any part of the stream, like they have to store that whole stream somewhere on their servers. So granted that the capacity of the storage they're going to be using up just for rewind to be a thing, it's going to increase. So that is the reason why it's only rolling out for channels that are partners and affiliates for now. But I think their plan is to eventually have it be entirely site-wide. But yeah, they're going to have to buy way more server storage and capacity before they can roll that out. The fact that it's even here partially, though, is something to celebrate. So yeah, thank you, Twitch. This is something that, you know, YouTube has had for quite a long time. But let's not forget that the company that owns YouTube, i.e. Google, and then them in turn are owned by an even larger company called Alphabet. And let's just be honest, like they have a lot more resources and capital to throw around at the problem, a lot more money to throw at the problem than what Amazon that own Twitch do. Even though Amazon are also a very large company, they're not as large as Alphabet. So, yeah. I wonder if it's available on the console. I doubt it, but feel free to have a look now that you're a resubscriber. Again, I think that it'll come to the apps once once it applies to every single channel throughout Twitch. I think while it's a phased rollout, they might keep it website only. Oh look, and right on cue, the Stream Elements bot is giving you all the info for anyone that might want it. There's my Intel Ribbon 1. Remember, once we have Intel Ribbon 3 and Wingman Ribbon 3, I'll be swapping to a Medic. Bye-bye to your beacon.
We have secured the sector.
There's Wingman Ribbon 2. absolutely worth looking. Let me know.
The enemy has
Let me
regrouped.
know.
Secure
I'm
the
very
sector
glad
before
to
moving
hear,
on.
like, so yeah, thank you, Cal. Wait, hang on a second. Are you indeed, like, Superman? Is Superman in our presence? Isn't your friend from school? Didn't you say their name was Cal? And isn't Superman's first name Cal? I've just spelt it out for you now. I might be getting my superheroes mixed up and Cal's someone else. But no, I'm pretty sure that Superman's first name is Cal. Right? Right? I'm doubting myself now. That was a hell of a headshot. Hip fire headshot, ladies and gentlemen.
Engaging at Delta 2.
Kal-El. Close enough. Close enough.
150 meters.
Oh, by the way, there was more footage of that Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls fighting game that Sony, Marvel, and Arc System Works are working on. They showed off Ghost Rider and Spider-Man. And also the fact that there's already been changes to certain mechanics as a result of the feedback from the beta. So one of the biggest changes is it's a lot faster to tag now if you want to. I think that's going to be really big for people that want to, because you can like just play like with your like the first character you select and have the other three just be assist characters that you call in like Mortal Kombat 1 cameos. You can play it like that. Or you can swap, you can literally tag and control any of the other three members of your team. The choice is yours. So that I think that's really cool, but yeah, Spidey's looking fantastic.
Capture those and secure the sector.
Oh, bro. Marvel Tokon is another game that, like, come hell or high water, I will own Marvel Tokon day one. I really enjoyed my time with the beta. The only thing that disappointed me was the fact that I didn't have any other friends or family to enjoy it with. And I realized for a lot of my friends and family where like fighting games, like they enjoy them, but they're not into them to the same degree as I am. And obviously with the price of new games these days, like, you know, it's a high barrier to entry. Like the game would have to be free to play, like 2XKO is, for a lot of people that I know to even give it a shot. And I completely understand that. I do also think though that the fact that it isn't free to play is somewhat beneficial, because let's be honest, every free to play game is just absolutely riddled with microtransactions to like make up for the fact that it's free to play it. And sure, there'll be DLC for Marvel Tokon, but I would imagine that it would be a very traditional business model of there's just season passes for new DLC characters and that's kind of it. You won't have to worry about buying currency and then using that currency to buy like characters, skins, and whatever else they decide to monetize. But then again, this is a Marvel game we're talking about, so ultimately Sony will have to a certain degree, do whatever Marvel would want them to do. After all, it's their characters. Arc System Works are just being contracted to create a fighting game for Marvel and Sony. But Arc System Works have got a very good track record at this point.
All objectives are under our control. The sector is ours.
And I wish them every success with this game. Right, yeah. No, but again, I've seen his gameplay, and seriously, the footage is incredible.
Russian forces are dug in here. Take
And given that the game was very easy to control, I'm curious how much of his moveset is going to be physically accessible to me. Very excited to give Spidey a shot. When playing the beta that I was in, right? Oh, sorry, it was like a closed alpha test. I actually ended up liking Miss Marvel the most, which is funny because I don't actually know much about Miss Marvel. Which I'm sure is going to make the internet be like, what? So actually, I'm going to ask my resident comic book loving nephew, tell me about Miss Marvel. Because, I mean, did they literally create her as kind of like, this is literally going to be a mascot for our company, hence Marvel's in the name? Like, I get the feeling like her, from a corporate level, the creation of her as a character is probably like, okay, we need a company mascot, but let's also make it a woman because in terms of our comic book niche, like the largest size of our demographic, I could be wrong here, but depending on the year of Miss Marvel's creation, it probably would have been mostly young males into Marvel's comics at the time. And so I have to imagine that they wanted to create more strong heroines to kind of get the like young girls on board with Marvel as well. And again, Alpha, do correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like the why create Miss Marvel, like the reasons why are probably something to do with that. You don't know much about it. Oh, wow. Well, if you wouldn't mind doing a great googly moogle search, it would be cool to learn more about it. But what I can tell you is she fights really well in Marvel Tokon. And in terms of gameplay, because of her stretchy limbs and powers, she kind of reminds me of Dalsum in Street Fighter from a gameplay perspective. But it's very, very cool.
You're outside the combat area. Head back.
We are gonna get rid of that beacon. Oh no, we're not. It's gonna get destroyed. But I'm like, to have a name like Miss Marvel, like, I'm like, wow, that's a statement right there. But I remember feeling kind of similar with like Captain America. It's like there are so many like Marvel heroes, and so many of them are like they either live in New York or near it. And then so, to have another hero like is literally, yo, I'm Captain America. I'm like, you either have one hell of an ego, or there's something about your backstory that I just don't know that would explain why of all names, why Captain America. Redeemed Hydrate, I got you. I'll wait till I fall in battle. And then I have a beverage over here. It's supposed to be a relatable. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because of course I can relate to, you know, reaching my arm out and then for it to just keep reaching and stretching around corners and... Yeah, that relatable. But no, in all seriousness, she was very cool. I enjoyed playing as her in Tokon.
Allies engaging on Foxtrot 1.
Wait, so there's a Captain Marvel as well? Like, my god! Is there a Duke Marvel as well? Next, you're gonna tell me that they're like CEO Marvel, where like they've literally taken the Marvel CEO and just made him a character. Hold on, what ribbon number was that? What ribbon number? Ah, I need to be healing now.
Foxtrot 1 is underway.
So yeah, we'll go head first into danger. Hydrate. Swap to medic. Nobody heal me. Don't do it. Wait, there's a Captain Marvel in the DC universe? Wow, I bet there was there a legal battle there? There had to have been. There had to have been. God damn. Oh wow, yeah, there we go. Thank you for the context there.
All objectives captured. The sector is ours.
Right, I'm now gonna be a medic. Which means that we are working towards logistics ribbons, really. Yeah, revives are for wingman, and we've already got all of those.
Last sector. They'll fight hard for this one.
Let's wait till we're closer. Oh my god. Thanks. I can't see shit. Right. Those, like, cluster grenades are brutal. Like, is that the actual name of them, nephew?
Scrambling. Wrap this up.
Oh my god, what a heal right there. Boom!
Forces are leaving the site. We've secured it. Well done.
Yeah, this map's great. By the way, once again, I will be around until 10 p.m. Thank you to my brother Diesel Dave. So there will be a second stream tonight. Scatter grenade. It's crazy. It is crazy. I've just had a message. Oh, I was close to another logistics. Whoa! 72 thou? And yet 3 pips of progress.
Let's get started.
Sorry, just replying to a message really quick. Thank you for your patience. I can't believe I've got 2 new subs, like, 2 subs today. Thank you so much. I go crazy and, Alpha.
Be ready and be decisive.
And again, thank you for not waiting until October. Because while it's not a problem, the fact that you've done it in September is great. Because it means that it's gonna be part of the payout coming in mid-October. If you did it in October instead of now, then yeah, I wouldn't actually get the money till much later. Until I get to the point, and I don't think this is ever gonna happen, by the way. But because I can't imagine of getting to the point where every single month I'm earning $50. I'm not close to that. But if I ever got close to that, that would mean that there would be a Twitch payout every month. Which would actually be insane. But yeah, thank you for doing it now, because it actually means that the stream can benefit from it sooner. And Alpha, I do want to say, if there's ever another channel that you'd rather give your Prime sub to, or if you ever have to cancel Prime, it's not a problem. But of course, every time you use your Prime here, as you know, it benefits this channel directly, and I massively appreciate it. I appreciate it from everyone that chooses to sub. It really means a lot, so thank you. Believe it'll happen sometime. I mean, we live in an economy that's very tough. And let's be honest, a Twitch subscription, it's a luxury. It's not something you need. And same with games. Games are a luxury. You know, I want to wish everybody that was able to pre-order Ghost of Yotei on release, enjoy it. Because I'm not in a situation where I can afford to pre-order it really. So, but I'll play it eventually. I'm gonna put my money towards Flight Simulator, and call me crazy, but I'm gonna go for the Aviator Edition, because more planes and more detailed airports, I want that. Although, Alpha, I do have a question. In terms of Flight Simulator 2024 and the DLC available, is there an Aviator upgrade DLC? Or do they only let you go to Premium Deluxe? Like, what additions can you upgrade to with Flight Sim 2024? Because if you can, and then also their prices. Because maybe get it starting with the basic and then upgrading later. That is also a viable option. Assuming that it is even an option. But yeah, I'd want to know if it's possible to upgrade to the Aviator Edition. You can't talk me out of it. I know all about them and I know I want them. And I will fly those planes. Okay? I will fly those planes. Yeah. Like, Flight Simulator, it's not a game, it's a simulator. And simulators are not cheap. They never have been. Like, if you are in the flight sim community, you are used to a plane DLC costing a lot. Because the company that make those planes, they have to put a lot of dev work in. It's not like just adding a car to GT. I know it is. I know what the Aviator Edition costs. I know it is. But you are getting a fuck ton of content. Like, the actual value of that content that's bundled is far higher than 200. I just want to point that out. Right? Far higher. Like, there are planes for Flight Sim that cost more than £20. For one aircraft. And the reason why is because of, again, the dev effort that's gone into accurately simulating not just the plane, but all of its systems and the procedures and, like, yeah, this is not really a game. It is a simulator. Oh, again, I know the price differences, but what I'm asking you is, can you upgrade to the Aviator Edition? Or can you only upgrade to the Premium Deluxe? Like, I want to know what editions it's possible to upgrade to. Like, just list all the editions that are possible to upgrade to. And then tell me what the upgrade prices are. And then I will work out, is it better to go Aviator from the jump? Or is it... Or do you not lose out money if you go standard and then upgrade Aviator later? Don't think you can upgrade to them. Yeah, that's all I'm asking. Please check. But yeah, no, I know I rose both your eyebrows with, like, I'm going Aviator Edition. I get that you wouldn't recommend it, and yeah, it probably wouldn't be worth it to you. But no, my history with Microsoft Flight Sim actually goes all the way back to 2000, and I didn't just take off and fly around. I actually made an attempt to learn how to fly the damn thing and follow, like, proper procedure, and I was rubbish, and you're gonna see that in my streams. But it's been many years since I've been able to enjoy Microsoft Flight Sim, because I've not had a machine that can run it to a high enough standard. Obviously my old PC did it a little bit with Flight Sim 2020, which, by the way, I want to point out, I bought the most expensive version of that too at the time. I believe it was like 160. But yeah, like, frame rates during takeoff and landing were particularly bad. Once you're high up in the air, to no surprise, the frame rates get better because the game is only having to draw, like, predominantly blue sky and, like, just a standard green landmass. But yeah, when you are at low altitude flying through a city, frame rate can really buckle. But yeah, I'm going Aviator because the value of the content is far higher than the price, and it's cheaper if you want all those planes, and I do. It's cheaper to get it in that bundle by far. But yeah, I want to know, like, what can you upgrade? And if you can't upgrade, that's made my decision all the more. But yeah, Flight Sim is definitely like pushing the boundaries of what is a game, because yeah, no, that's a simulator. The clue is in the name. It's marketed as a game. You can upgrade, and according to the players recommend, because it is being. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. And I get it. I appreciate like the but Andy, what? Like, yeah, no, if it's cheaper to get it outright, that's what I'm gonna do. Don't worry. It's not gonna be that expensive to me. Thanks to you. This is where my Twitch payout's going. So, and yeah, a lot of my own money will still go to it as well. But dang it, I can spend my own money how I want. Yeah, that's all I wanted to know, Alpha. Like, what's the most cost-efficient way to have the most stuff? Thank you very much. I am looking forward to checking out everything in Aviator Edition, like quite literally. It's literally going to be like, we fire up a stream, and then I could even have chat like suggest stuff, like, what do we feel like flying today? And then we just give it a go. You know? Can you look up something else for me as well? Can you look if the Halo Warthog is in 2024? They released it as an update for oh, sorry, not the Warthog. The oh god, what's the name of it? The Pelican, right? The big ship. The Pelican. Yeah, that's it. The Pelican. Yeah. When they added that to Flight Sim 2024 as a free plane, because that's the thing. They've done some free DLC too. Is it also in 2024? I believe all the planes they've made for 2020, they've also made possible for it to load into 24. But I just would like you to check. Thank you. Thank you so much. I realize I should do all this looking up myself, but since you're there. That was in 20... Yeah. So it should still be in the marketplace. Like, you might have to be in-game. You might not be able to see it on the Xbox store. But in theory, if it's in 2020, it should also be available for 2024. Yeah, it should still be available. Now, if you're a company developing you know, making DLC and planes for Microsoft Flight Simulator, I do believe it's at the company's discretion. Like, they can choose, is this for 2024 or 2020 or both? Like, Microsoft aren't forcing, like, hey, if you make something for 2020, it must work in 2024 or anything like that. But a lot of companies do actually, because they want to maximize their sales, I do believe that they usually develop a plane for both sims. But of course, 2024's got more features, so the 2024 version of any plane typically can do more things. So for example, in 2024, you can actually walk around the interior of the plane and things like that. At least as far as I know. And you can also open a lot of the exterior hatches and things. little nooks and crannies.
We are attacking
So
Bravo
you
1.
can like almost do a bit of the servicing on the exterior of the aircraft and stuff. Like the level of detail is actually kind of mind-bending. Like a lot of the planes in Microsoft Flight Simulator have the Garmin G1000 navigation system, and from what I've seen, Microsoft have simulated that system pretty damn accurately.
Allied troops targeting Bravo 1. We are moving to attack Bravo 1.
Man, I'm so excited. Thank you, thank you. Again, if it's not in there, it's no problem. I just wondered.
We have nothing left to throw at them. Our plan has failed. All
You
troops
might have to. You
evacuate.
might end up in like Flight Simulator Reddits. Copy paste this. Yeah, cool. Single license bundle. You'll not be able to purchase bundles. Okay, that's not going to affect me because, of course, for the PlayStation version, I own nothing. Right? But thank you for that. But obviously, PlayStation's a separate platform. But it also will mean that upgrading isn't possible. So if you bought the Deluxe and you wanted Aviator, you wouldn't be able to because Aviator already includes the Deluxe content. So because you already own some of the content of Aviator through having a lower edition, yeah, okay. So you have to get whatever top edition you want. You have to get it from the jump. A bit cheeky, but I'm not surprised they've done that. I'm not surprised at all. But also, like, again, the whole £200 thing. Alpha, go have a look at how much a HOTAS is. Like for the Thrustmaster Airbus 320 throttle and things. And also like the you can get like a joystick thing. Like these peripherals are not cheap. People take their flight simming very seriously. And while I plan to play the game just with a DualShock controller and see how I go, if I end up really loving the simulator, like living in it, I would consider maybe like a joystick and possibly a throttle. I don't think I'd go as far as having a yoke, and I certainly can't do the foot pedals. But maybe a joystick and a throttle control for sure. Does seem a tad shady. Well, again, you know, there's a lot of people
Play
in the
smart.
flight
No
simming
mistakes
community
out
that'll
there.
look at the £200 asking price, but then see the 160 meticulously modeled aircraft and sort of say, that's not bad. Which I know sounds weird,
we are mining here and Archangel's research cannot be compromised.
but you should have a look at the price of a commercial license for X-Plane 12.
You are our backbone in this engagement, Nopads. Fight
Feel free
on.
to Google that at your leisure. X-Plane is a competing simulator to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is £50 to buy it for like your own recreational personal use. But if you want a license to be able to use it to train other pilots or indeed yourself, it's a lot more expensive than £50, my dude. And I believe that's probably got something to do with insurance and liability and all that kind of thing. It's funny though, because as accurate as Microsoft Flight Simulator is, Microsoft doesn't seem to be interested in gaining the certification necessary for it to be an actual pilot training tool, which is what Lumnar Research, who make X-Plane, have done. Now, I do think that Microsoft Flight Simulator back in the day used to have proper certification, but not anymore. So in that sense, yes, Microsoft Flight Simulator is now a game and not a simulator, because despite the fact that they are still putting in a lot of attention to detail, as far as the organizations that deal with like training pilots, Microsoft haven't tried to meet those guidelines. Probably because of some sort of money, like the amount of money it would take for it to be a properly certified thing. It's just something Microsoft don't want to invest in anymore. I reckon back when Microsoft had certification, it was probably when they literally knew that they had the most authentic flight simulator on the market at the time. But Lumnar Research, I mean, they're basically like two massive juggernauts at this point, between like Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Plane. It's almost like there are other sims that exist, but they're like the two biggest players. And Lumnar Research have basically gone the extra mile of like, hey, like, I don't know the name of the organization, but they've literally gone to like the organization kind of that is like responsible for making sure that pilots are trained properly and stuff. And they've literally gone to them and be like, hey, are we authentic? And if not, what do we need to change? And then they've gone and done that, right?
Lost one! Bring me down! Get up!
But where the thing that makes Microsoft Flight Simulator be something I want to play over like X-Plane 12, because again, X-Plane 12 is a lot cheaper, and it's also made specifically for my Mac, is like, what Microsoft have put more effort into is actually the detail of the world. Like, they've literally created a virtual copy of Earth, literally to scale. You've got live dynamic weather. You've got more planes. Like, yeah, it's kind of for the content. So yeah, X-Plane has fewer planes, but they've simulated them to a ridiculously insane degree. Okay. That's fine. That's also cool with like that there's an FOB. I'm gonna have to like check that out. I believe I had the Pelican on Flight Sim 2020. I seem to remember. But that and obviously I'll be linking my PSN account with the same Microsoft account. But I don't think that's gonna mean that I can use the Pelican in Flight Sim 2024. Either way, like as you can tell, I'm super excited for Flight Sim 2024. Super excited.
Return to the engagement at once.
Especially the career mode, actually. Like, the Flight Sim 2020 didn't have a career mode. I'm very curious how the career mode's gonna work.
You've left the engagement area. Objective Bravo 1 has been lost.
You're still off the map. Turn around.
Everyone did because it was a free upgrade. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think one of my favorite planes in Flight Sim
You've left the
is
engagement.
the
One of our objectives is under attack.
Cessna Citation Longitude, which I think is a deluxe premium edition plane. But yeah, that thing is nice.
Contact spotted. 200 meters away.
Very modern aircraft with a very advanced autopilot. It quite literally can fly itself. If you program the autopilot, it'll take you from takeoff to touchdown. It's pretty incredible. But you still have to program it right, of course.
All objectives lost. Withdraw to the next sector. Mount your defense there.
I think rather than just like, I mean, obviously, it'd be cool to know how to create and, you know, load in a flight plan and then have the plane follow it. But I think I would like to learn navigating by VOR. So again, the radio navigation that I mentioned even a few streams ago, where like every radio beacon has specific coordinates, and then you have to put in the frequency of the beacon, and also you need to put in the angle at which you are traveling to or from the beacon
Charlie 1.
in degrees, and then the plane can follow that heading. So it'd be kind of cool to make a route based off of a series of waypoints, and then have the autopilot follow that. We'll see if we can do that. And then as we get near the runway, making use of the ILS instrument landing system so that we could even land perfectly on a runway even if we have zero visibility.
We have a
That
breach
would be
at one of our
freaking
objectives.
awesome. If I can successfully do that, I will be very, very pleased with myself. I cannot wait for this. to come to PlayStation. Like, it was my #1 Microsoft exclusive to make the jump. And honestly, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, if you'd have told me, like, hey, Microsoft Flight Sim's gonna come to PlayStation, I would have thought you were crazy. In the nicest possible way. The fact that it's coming, and the fact that I've talked about it on this stream for so long, that's what's crazy. But, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be great. There is a beta. I have signed up. I hope I get chosen. But even if I don't, we're literally like just months away. I'm like, where should I fly first? You know what? I think I might fly to where I used to live. I think it would be cool to get like a really an aircraft with high visibility in the cockpit. You know, good panoramic view out of the windows. We do a nice flyby over Farnham. And then I can see my old house from here. I reckon that would be pretty cool. Right? If we take off from Farnborough, because there's a airfield. Well, there's quite a few airfields, but I believe Farnborough's got one.
You need to head back. You've left the...
This area is lost. Retreat to the next sector and continue your defense.
We're gonna have to go to Destiny Country as well. That's gotta happen, right? Of course, you'll have to kind of let me know where to head.
Prepare for the next wave.
So that'd be cool.
Hold your objectives.
Because again, Flight Simulator's got the whole of Earth mapped out.
Objective is under siege.
Ow. Yeah, you could help with that. Yeah, exactly, yeah. That'd be great. There's a lot of places I would love to quote unquote visit in the simulator. We gotta go see the Boost Gang, obviously, right? We gotta see the Boost Gang.
Hostile troops concentrating on Delta 2.
Where your Auntie Sam used to live, she actually used to have like the building painted like a pretty bright pink. And depending on when Microsoft last did their flyover for the data, if we fly over Malta, it might still be pink. We don't know. It might not be as well. They might have changed it. But it depends how frequently they update their maps.
Delta 2 assaulted by US forces.
Yeah. But imagine that. If all of a sudden in the distance, this bright pink square. It'd be like, your Auntie Sam used to live there.
I need a ranger dropped here, ASAP!
Of course, I never visited Sam's place in Malta that she was at for 5 years. I did actually try, I have done a Flight Simulator 2020 stream before. I was attempting to fly from Manchester to Malta's airport, because Malta's only really got one big airport, because Malta's a very small place. I got as far as I could see the runway. It was a 3-hour flight, because in real life it's like a 3-hour flight. And obviously Microsoft have done the whole Earth to scale. So if it takes 3 hours in real life, it was like a 3-hour stream. Like, we flew past Italy, it was beautiful, you know. It literally took what it would take. I got to the point of seeing the runway, and I fucked up the landing. I was kind of disappointed. And I'm gonna be honest, that's probably gonna happen in my streams of 2024. But can you imagine the first time I'm successful?
Prepare to defend the sector.
Hold on, Xbox DRM can't find the licenses for Black Ops 1 and 2019 Modern Warfare, but you can still boot up and play them? Well then, clearly it can find the licenses. That is weird. By that, do they mean like the licenses are on the server and you don't have a local copy, meaning that you're only able to play them now because you're connected to the internet? And if you were to disconnect from Xbox Live, they would become unbootable.
We have a breach at one
This
of
is
our
why the
objectives.
PS5 has a they have like a license sync, don't they? So that you can basically, you have an offline copy of all your digital licenses on the console. You know, on the one that you set as your primary. And I know that the like Xbox have a home Xbox thing. Oh, by the way, £800 for the ROG ROG Xbox Ally X. I kind of knew it was going to be expensive because it's basically a handheld Xbox. But yeah, to be fair, can I be honest with you guys? I was expecting it to be more. Especially because like the Series X has just had price rise after price rise. I realize in the States it's $1,000, but the fact that it's 800 here when it's 1,000 over across the pond, I actually think the UK have got kind of a deal there. Because if you convert $1,000 to British pounds, correct me if I'm wrong, Alpha, but isn't it more than 800? I think it might be. Oh, okay. Well, at least you know now.
Requesting Ranger drone. Drop on my marker. Help me out! I need help!
Yeah, go, Robo Dog.
We must regroup and defend the next sector.
That's because they are, Alpha. Like, don't get me wrong, okay? The ROG Ally, sorry, the Xbox ROG Ally X is gonna have a massive advantage. What is that advantage? This is gonna sound weird.
The American
Windows
forces are moving into
is
the sector.
pre-installed.
Defend it.
And also, because Microsoft have been involved in the device's design, there's going to be certain optimizations there that even competing manufacturers won't necessarily have. Because, of course, this isn't the only handheld in the world where you can get Windows pre-installed. But for those other ones, Microsoft were not involved, right? Like, the company have paid Microsoft money to license Windows so that they can install it on there. But the benefit that ASUS have with this Xbox Ally X thing with ASUS, like they've deliberately collaborated together. So, but yeah, the benefit is that it's got Windows, and we all know that like certain PC games, they only really run on Windows. So if you want a portable Windows-based gaming handheld, the ROG Ally Xbox... Oh my... The name is stupid. Yeah, the ROG RAW... Wait. It's the ROG Xbox Ally X, isn't it? There we go. Yeah. Yeah. The ROG Xbox Ally X is probably the best choice, but again, it really costs. It really costs. Yeah, I would not even consider... I know the ROG Xbox Ally is significantly cheaper, but it's also significantly nerfed, and I'm not just on about the internal storage. Like the CPU and GPU and battery and everything about it. They've cut down everything they can to hit a price point significantly less. I honestly think if you're thinking of considering a regular ROG Xbox Ally, just get a Steam Deck instead. Yeah. Because you have to not think about, like, you can't just think about, especially when you're paying something like £800. It's not just about what games can it play today. It's like, is it going to be able to even run the stuff that are out 2 or 3 years from now? The reality is possibly not, even with how they've spec'd it today. But yeah, I won't be buying one. I've got to be honest with you. I mean, let's be real. With how my life is, I probably won't be buying any next-gen systems. But if I was, it's probably going to be Sony's handheld PlayStation 6. Maybe not even their main PS6. But again, because of my care situation and having to go to bed, like, you know, ridiculously early. Although, thank you again to my brother for making that's not possible. I've got a greater reason behind investing in handheld gaming systems than what I had before. You know, this is why I did get the Switch 2. But, yeah, like a handheld PlayStation might actually be valuable to me. Because it could remote play and it's optimized for, you know, the PS5 I've already got in the office. And yes, I know there is the PlayStation Portal device. I'll be honest, I've been tempted. I have been tempted to pick one up. But I also know that the Wi-Fi that's built in is not the best. And therefore, you know, the latency on that device is not going to be the best. It's not going to be terrible. I know that Cyber Eclipse has one, right? He likes his. But yeah, if there's rumors of another Sony handheld in the works, I feel like I'm probably better off waiting for that and seeing what the capabilities of it are. For example, if there's a future handheld console that can run PS5 games, Tekken 8 in the palm of my hands, folks. Think about that for a second. This game in the palm of my hands. I realize with the PlayStation Portal device, technically I could already do that because I can remote playing my PlayStation. But yeah, if the game's able to natively run on the handheld device, that lowers latency. Isn't too bad. You can still, yeah. No, from what I've heard, it's similar to like the Remote Play app on an iPad. Because this is the thing, if I really wanted to, I can already remote play my PS5 via my iPhone or iPad and it works. So I was like, I don't really need the PlayStation Portal device. What the benefit of the Portal device is the ergonomics, right? It's the fact that because of how it's physically designed, it's like it's more comfortable in your hands than trying to prop up a screen and hold a controller and stuff. You would still recommend one? Yeah, again, I've been tempted, but because I don't have like the money to just burn, like it's one of those things where if I was sitting on a pile of money, depending on how large a pile we're talking about, I would have either bought one yesterday or I wait it out, right? So because I'm not sitting on a pile of money, I'm happy to wait however many months it is or years before Sony announce their next handheld and then just get that instead, because whatever they're cooking in their kitchen is going to be better than the Portal, right? I'm not someone that would want to buy a Portal and then after a year wish I'd waited, you know? But trust me, like if I was sitting on a pile of money, I would have already bought it. Because I do think it is a good device and I have heard it works well. But yeah, I can wait. I'm not gonna lie to you, because like Flight Simulator has confirmed that in 2026 it's getting PlayStation VR 2 support. I'm more tempted to buy myself a PlayStation VR 2 headset over a PlayStation Portal device, because then I would be able to enjoy No Man's Sky, Gran Turismo 7, the Resident Evil games, and Flight Simulator all in VR. Only when I'm up and about during the daytime, but even so. Like, I know that I'm late to the VR 2 party, and I know I had a PlayStation VR 1, for PS4. But yeah, like, the VR 2's still got life in it, I would say, and still a worthwhile peripheral for latecomers like me to potentially invest in it. I think I'll probably wait. Well, I have to wait because I don't have the money for a VR 2 right now. But like, yeah, the fact that we know that VR 2 support is coming to Flight Simulator 2024 is actually huge. I find it weird that they haven't, like, Microsoft haven't done something similar for the Xbox version. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they did a partnership with Meta where there is an Xbox version of the Meta Quest 3, right? This is crazy, yo.
That's it!
Yeah, that would be cool. Hell, if my pockets were deep enough, let's be honest, I'd probably be an owner of an Apple Vision Pro spatial computer. And then when I'm using my Mac, it will be on a virtual 100-foot wraparound screen that only I could see. Let's be honest here. Like, yeah. Because damn, I bet using that device is cool. Like, I know Apple, you know, it's an ecosystem they control, and you know, there aren't a ton of apps for the Vision Pro. But what features it does have, it's kind of crazy. Like, that literally feels like owning the future now. And I'm fully aware of, have you seen the second generation glasses by Meta? They collaborated with Ray-Ban and they've just launched another set of specs. Again, $800 US to buy. But, and it only is, it's only got a screen on one lens, not two. But again, the things you can do with it, actually insane. And they look like glasses. They actually look like glasses. I know what happened, but one could drink. Yeah. Again, this isn't stuff we need, but I've always been fascinated by tech and the way and the all its advances, and yeah, so when I first saw the Vision Pro, I'm like, this is just an incredible, like even though, like, obviously way outside my budget, way outside the budget of most people, that's kind of not the point. The fact that it's possible even at all, and that it works, you know, as a functioning product, you know, with the ergonomics that it has, it was just like, this is cool. And depending on what industry you work in, has genuinely actually saved companies money. Like, take the automotive industry. You know, like the way that cars normally get designed. Alpha, actually, I'm wondering, like, do you know, like, so, yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you know how, if, like, let's say Porsche or BMW or any car manufacturer for that matter, before the Vision Pro, how do you think they iterated on their designs? Like, if they wanted to see, like, obviously they do drawings, but like if they wanted to see how their design was gonna look before they commit to using all the materials and things like that, how do you think they did it? Because I'll tell you, but yeah, have a guess. How do you think they did it? And even the true answer is gonna blows my mind. PSVR, no. Do you want another guess, or are you ready for me to tell you? Because imagine, okay, even before PSVR 2, all right, and even before GT, how do you think? All right, okay, I'm gonna tell you. They made the car out of clay, like life-size, like not a little clay model, like an actual life-size model of their design in clay, so that they can look at it in person and be like, okay, we should change this bit here. Because obviously clay is easy to reshape, right?
Sending the Ranger. Position marked.
But you can imagine, that's a lot of clay, that's a lot of water, that's still gonna take a lot of time, right? But it's a lot quicker and cheaper than, okay, factory, build this, and then they see it and was like, nah, actually this is no good. Like, imagine how wasteful that would be, not just in time, but in materials and, you know, man hours and all that. So yeah, clay actually was a good way to save time and money, because you could tweak the design very quickly once the main thing was built. But now that like Apple Vision Pro is a thing, and yes, they cost like $3,000 US, but now a designer can see a life-size model of what they're designing in 3D space. Well, you see, that's the thing. The studio modeling software is probably creating the virtual model that then you can load into Apple Vision Pro. You know, computer-aided design is, when you know how to do it, it is a really quick and efficient way to work. Because it's very easy to change something in a virtual model, right? You want to change the color, you don't have to repaint the damn thing. It's just a couple of mouse clicks and boom, the color's different. So in terms of like iterating on design ideas before they commit to like, yep, that's the design, let's, you know, book the factory time, spend the, you know, like spend the money, the resources. Like, I'm pretty sure the Apple Vision Pro, despite costing thousands, will have saved multiple companies multiple thousands. Yeah. Maya Autodesk. Oh yeah, so I looked into all that stuff, right? Because of course I'm content creating, and I was looking at, you know, animating my logo that you see on my stream and stuff. Turns out, like, I don't need to buy anything else. I absolutely can do that in DaVinci Resolve Studio. But I looked at what other pieces of software out there. I'm very disappointed, although not surprised, that things like Maya and all that, there isn't actually a option anymore to buy to own it. Because it used to be very expensive software, like multiple thousands. But there was, back in the day, you could own it. And they've adopted Adobe's business model now, where you have to subscribe. And obviously there's different plans depending on whether you're a student or whatever. But you're right. The commercial licenses, as in the licenses that give you the legal right to use the software to create something that you then profit off and make money with, they're the expensive versions of the license. It's just like the there's two licenses for X-Plane I was talking about. You could buy the game on Steam for 50 quid, or you can get like an actual license to use it to train pilots and things, or use it for your own training, but that's multiple thousands if I remember rightly. I was gonna say that did seem that did seem a bit high. Yeah. Either way, it's out of my budget. I like owning. I mean, obviously, DaVinci Resolve Studio, it wasn't cheap. You know, I bought it with the speed editor, so it was around £360. $200 for the studio license, and then the rest is basically the cost of the speed editor peripheral, which I am loving, by the way. It's so good. But I own it forever. It's not a subscription, and it's a professional tool that I can get professional looking work done. It's fantastic. Love it. One of the best things I've bought myself lately. And yeah, I'm not into subscribing to software and then you lose it as soon as you stop paying. No, thank you. Do you know what? I know I completed accidentally a mission there, but I'm happy with my progress so far, given that it's stream 1 of 2. Yeah, Blender, but Blender's free. And this is the thing, I was looking into this. I now have Blender on my Mac.
Armed and ready.
Yep, I've got it. I know next to nothing about Blender,
Our control over Iwo
but
Jima
that's
is being
where
threatened by a
YouTube
new
comes
mandate
in.
assault. The resources we are mining here and Archangel's research cannot be compromised.
I've seen on
Reinforce our
like
defenses.
Blender's
If they break
YouTube
through,
channel, they've
make
got
them
like
bleed for
sizzle
every
reels
step
of
they
the
take.
kind of things
You
people
are
have
a backbone
created
in
in
this engagement,
Blender.
Nomads. Fight on.
Blows my mind, man. The same for the similar stuff in Unreal Engine, right? Because people create some truly
Defend
unreal
your
stuff in
objectives and
Unreal.
hold this sector. We
But,
have fallback
like-
positions if needed, but we must wear down the US forces.
But yeah, I have Blender. I have Blender and I have GIMP, which is a JPEG image manipulation tool. Oh, sorry, no, it's a graphic and image manipulation tool. That's what it stands for. That's also free. But another thing I'm interested in investing in at some point is the Serif Affinity software, like Affinity Photo, Affinity Publisher, Affinity Designer. So that's basically like the buy to own it equivalents of Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, where you don't have to subscribe to it. You buy it once and you've got it for your Mac, PC, and iPad all in one bundle. I don't own that yet. But yeah, again, I'm a content creator. These are tools that should be in my toolbox. You know?
We've lost control of an objective.
So I'll get them when I can. And then in addition, of course, you know, there's no end to the amount of noise-making toys as a musician that I'd like. So...
Sector lost. Fall back and mount a new defense in the next sector.
Okay. Well, you went to university for this stuff. You're a smart guy. I don't... Yeah. This is the thing. I don't assume you don't know anything. You know a lot of things, and you know a lot of things I don't know. But you also had, you know, you've also got a sister that worked in this stuff. You know, doing
Return to the fight.
like graphic design. So yeah. Like, I'm fully aware that my niece has actually knows how to use things like Maya and other stupidly expensive software, and has skills that I do not. But the same is true of you. You have skills that I do not. You can actually draw.
Enemy focusing
Well,
on
that's
Bravo
something
1.
I might eventually one day pick your head about, because that's really freaking cool. Again, though, it's like, I'm the sort of person where if I want to know something and I don't yet know how to do it, I already know that whatever I want to know, somebody's probably already made a YouTube video about. So I get a lot of my knowledge from YouTube. But I also check multiple videos on the same topic. I try to basically, you know, validate a lot of the knowledge I'm looking for through multiple sources.
We have lost Bravo 1.
I was watching a really cool YouTube video this morning, and I forget the YouTuber's channel name, but I did hit subscribe. But again, sorry for the lack of a shout out.
Mount your defense to the next
But
sector.
they were showing me how and why, when they do logo design, they don't use Photoshop or Illustrator or even like Affinity Photo or Designer. They're doing their logos, like actual designing of them, in DaVinci Resolve. And the reason why is not only can they build the logo, but they can animate it all in one piece of software without having to, like you say, convert, re-import, all that kind of thing. So it actually can already be, even though like its main function is a video editor, you can use it for way more than
Is
that.
under attack.
And I'm like, huh. And yeah, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I like my Twitch overlay, right? I like it. But I've had it for a long time. I want to teach myself and build myself
Charlie 1.
a new one. Maybe. But then again, when I look at it, I'm also in a thing of like, what would I change? Because when I look at it, I'm like, I really like that the background moves, because the background's my gameplay just colored. Like, it's really cool as it is. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to change, what to keep. I think the ugliest part is probably Twitch's own sub-goal bar. And viewers, feel free to weigh in on if you have an opinion yourself.
Charlie 1 is under siege. You left the engagement area.
Oh, that's cool. That's really good. And that's the beauty of competition. One of those things.
Charlie 1 control lost.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like my stream overlay.
You need to
I
head back.
do.
Left the engagement.
Sometimes I feel like in this view in particular, though the border's too thick,
We must regroup at
like
the
I would
next
want to
sector.
give you more gameplay, but then again, if I thin it out, then you won't really see me. So yeah, I don't know. And I realized that I put a lot more game, like there are streamers out there with thicker borders. I'm not saying that if your border's thicker than mine that I think that I don't like your overlay. Like no, there's a lot of cool looking overlays out there. But I think when you know, when I'm streaming a game, I kind of want the game to be the main focus. But no, I freaking love that my background moves because it's basically a doubling of my gameplay. That's, you know, because I was like, man, I could make a really cool animated background thing, but like to me there's nothing cooler than just slap the gameplay behind and recolor it, because then like I have an infinite number of potential animated backgrounds, because it's all about what I put as the thing that I'm capturing. You know what I mean? As soon as I change game, that game also becomes my background. I was like, that's awesome. So like when you're playing Tekken, it's a Tekken background. When you and this is that. Okay, don't clip that. But that's why, you know how like Sky was saying, I prefer an alpha. I think you said the same thing. This is why you don't have it be auto throw on the grenade. Mock-up does it? Yeah.
We have hostiles moving on Delta 2.
Again, nothing might change, but I just want you to know that I'm contemplating it. That's probably the best way to do it. Because I've basically had the same layout since like I don't know, the start of 2023.
Our troops just seized Delta
It's
1.
because it wouldn't be so bad, but the whole like L1 plus R1 to call it in this menu, you have to be so specific. Because if you hit the grenade button first on accident, you potentially burn
US
yourself.
forces attacking Delta 2.
We have lost an objective. We've lost control of one of our objectives. Our troops have taken an objective.
Enemy controls Delta 2.
We need a ranger
I might
deployed in
have done
this
the
position.
ranger mission now, but I think I did actually. Which is good, because that one was a bit of a pain.
Enemy forces in Delta 1.
Go, Ranger, get revenge. Let's check. Oh yeah, we did do it. That's cool. That's cool. I suppose I'm not going too bad, am I? Especially considering... Yeah, I was a bit worried that I completed that mission though, right? Because I'm trying to save the missions for next week, for like if timing's a bit of an issue and we're running out of time. iPad but just switched off entirely.
Delta 2 under friendly control.
Wait, is that the thing
Our
that's
troops have
nice,
lost an
or
objective.
did it run out of battery or something? I mean, you got the same iPad as me, right?
Delta 1.
No,
undertaken
a generation
by
newer. Okay, probably just some kind of crash. I have had that happen before, yeah. It's probably so full that it, like, Apple operating systems work on a philosophy of caches. Part of why
Delta 1 is underway.
all of Apple's operating systems are praised for being so responsive and snappy is because without asking you whether it's okay or not, they'll cache everything. Not turning back on. Put it on charge for a while, regardless of the fact that it was like at 95, and just try it later.
We are initiating an attack on
If
Delta 1.
it's still busted,
We have lost control over
bring it
objective.
down, I'll fix it. I'm confident I can fix it, because, hang on, before I say this, do you know what your Apple password is? If I needed to say, go do the whole recovery mode thing, and then reinstall iPadOS that way. You know what your details are, right?
All objectives lost. Withdraw to the next sector.
I'm not saying that I have to go that far, but I'm very
Return to the
confident I
engagement.
could probably get your iPad going again. Because, yeah, there's a set of procedures I can follow. And, yeah, if we needed to refresh it, we can. I mean, it might literally have just died,
Slow the Americans down.
but it's not necessarily the end.
Marking enemy reload!
I am kind of surprised if it has, though, because it's newer than mine. It should actually back up every day, not every month. But yeah, hopefully there's a recent one. But yeah, that's good. I would say maybe bring it down sometime.
Hostiles invading.
To be fair, you've got a capture card to collect from me that you have bought and paid for. I can see about getting it fixed for you, man. We can have a look at it. Yep. Yep. What that probably was, your iPad is so full, it's now struggling to run the OS. Right. I would say, pop down, at some point. When's good for you? Yeah, again, I can sort that for you. And we won't have to wipe everything.
Hostile activity. What about objectives?
We can sort that. You can delete the downloads. So, in fact, do that. Go to settings. Right, yeah, let's delete the download of 26. Go to settings, general, storage, and then you'll be able to find OS 26. Should be able to swipe sideways on that and then press a delete. That'll just delete the download. Then, when I come see you, or sorry, when you come see me, bring your iPad and we can do that update. And it will work, because I will make enough space for it to work. And then, after that's done, whatever was taken off, you can just bring back. And I won't take off anything that you won't be able to bring back. It hasn't got it downloaded. Well, I thought you said it tried to download it and it's kept some of the data. Because even if you download partially, it's like, yeah, 26 would show up in the list, even if it's not fully downloaded. So check that full list. So I'm not on about the system software update screen, I'm on about the storage thing.
Up front!
But yeah, also like on another note, when are you 3? Because yeah, come over and we can look into it sometime. I've got some things happening this week, but I'm still free a lot of the time. Can update but it isn't downloaded. Work free whenever.
Echelon is being
Do you
contested
know
by
what?
hostiles.
What's let me look at my calendar.
We have been pushed off Echo 1.
So how about I'll talk to your nan.
Objective secured.
But potentially on Tuesday, because I'm thinking, well, I'll make the most of like this double XP weekend. If you pop round on Tuesday after my lunch call, which I'll let you know when it's finished. Tuesday afternoon, bring your iPad, because I'm curious enough that I want to look into this. You can trust me with it though. And then at the same time, you can pick up your capture card that you bought. Unless you want me to just hold on to it so that it's safe until you get a rig to use it with. Obviously, you've been talking to me about MacBook Pros lately. So I'm assuming now you're thinking like, it's interesting. Can we talk about that a little bit? Because actually we were meaning to. I thought you were saving up for a Windows laptop initially. But have you sort of decided that like, well, rather than gaming, if I was to buy a computer, it's mainly for content creation purposes now? Because I will say this. If you are specifically wanting a laptop, Mac is the way to go in terms of you'll have way better battery life. But as you know, even though games are coming to the Mac, if gaming was the thing that's most important to you, Windows is still the OS to have. Because all of the games with anti-cheat, they all require Windows. I'm going to call it Windows 86. Because Windows for ARM still is triggering anti-cheats and stuff. So I'm talking about they need traditional x86 processors plus Windows. That's the main gaming thing. But what you're saying is gaming on your computer is not going to be the main thing you want it for. So in that sense, yeah, Mac makes a lot more sense. So, but yeah, talk me about your philosophy a bit. The more I thought about it, the more I shifted towards maintaining gaming on a console. Yeah, fair enough. It does mean that certain games, of course, similar to me, you'll kind of be giving up. Like basically any Windows-only game with anti-cheat, you either need them to have a console version, or you simply are accepting that you won't be able to play them without having multiple computers, as in a Windows one and a Mac. But yeah, like, I don't regret moving to a Mac. The thing that's nice about it, like one of the biggest reasons, beyond the better battery life, is that, I mean, it's just, I know you've just had an issue where your iPad's just turned itself off. Right, so this isn't really helping my point a lot. But macOS as a platform is just so stable. Like, there's a whole host of issues I was having with my Windows PC that I just don't have. You know? Like, and again, I'm gonna sound like an Apple fanboy here. I know, but it is true though. There's just, it just works. And that's really nice. I like gaming on a console because it's just simply, exactly, right? Yeah, you just turn on the console, the game might have an update, but that console is built to game, exactly.
US forces attacking one of our objectives.
And it's not that Macs and Windows PCs aren't, but the thing is, both Windows and macOS, they're built they game, yeah, but they're built for multiple uses, you know, rather than specializing in gaming. Yeah, I understand your point completely. I'm gonna ask another question. How familiar are you with macOS? Have you ever used a Mac before?
Reloading.
If the answer is no, that's not a problem. But I'm just curious. You have? Okay.
Pull back and mount your defense in the next sector.
And I'm assuming you liked it because you wouldn't even be considering a Mac if you didn't, right? Like, it's completely different from Windows, but it's also not difficult. You know? I think one thing that irritates a lot of people that come from Windows is that, you know how you get the traffic lights? You know, with the red, orange, green buttons? I see a lot of Windows users don't like the fact that when you hit the red traffic light to close a window, and if an app only has one window open and you close that window, it doesn't close the app. For that reason, I don't click that little red dot in the top left corner to close things. I always do the keyboard shortcut Command Q, which is for quit. So there are certain things about macOS where I just use the keyboard shortcut
Finish the mission.
rather than use the mouse. And 20 minutes. Okay, thank you for that context. That's still way more recent than I initially thought. Just because I've got to be honest with you, they haven't changed much since then. Yeah, no, they haven't changed all that much. Was it your own Mac or a friend's at uni or something like that? macOS, oh, it's just a little dated. I mean, granted, with macOS 26, it's like the biggest changes macOS has gone under for a little while, but it's still very much macOS. And I'm still learning things, by the way. Right? I'm on my second Mac. My first was in 2010. I'm still learning about it. It was a Studio Mac? Oh, okay. I got really excited then because I'm like, there is actually a Mac called a Mac Studio, but no, that didn't exist till 2020 something. But no, what you mean is in the studio at your college, there was a Mac. I'm assuming it was an iMac. See, I almost bought a Mac Studio. You know, instead of a MacBook Pro. If I'd have gone for a Mac Studio, my Mac would have been over $1,000 cheaper. I'm not even kidding. Like, for the same specs, I could have had basically the same Mac for $1,000 less. But because it's not a laptop, can't take it around anywhere if I wanted to. Right? I would have to unplug the screen, take the keyboard mount, like, you know. Essentially, the MacBook Pro is a portable either Mac Mini, iMac, or well, actually, no. In fact, the best way to describe it is like a portable iMac. Because an iMac has got a built-in screen, you know. A monitor with, yeah. So it was an iMac. Yeah, they call those iMacs. iMacs are all-in-one desktops where the computer is built behind the screen. It's very clever. You will have noticed on that iMac underneath the screen, like there was basically a rectangle underneath. That's where the computer is. It's actually, when I said it was behind the screen, that's a little inaccurate. The actual computer is just under the screen in part of the iMac that Apple call the chin. So like the whole motherboard, the CPU, the memory is in that bit under the screen where the logo is. Although modern iMacs don't have a logo. But yeah, the actual computer is in that chin. Which is amazing when you consider how small that chin is. But the whole computer is in that chin. And then it's just a screen above it. It's insane. Like, the design is amazing. And sorry, I could nerd out about this stuff for a long time, as you can see. But, yeah. But yeah, the reason why I went a MacBook Pro is that I wanted a Mac that, even though I don't travel very much, at least I got the option, right? It's literally a portable powerhouse. And because I've gone for the M4 Max chip instead of the regular M4, it's basically like having a portable Mac Studio instead of just a portable iMac. Maybe misremembering this, but I was... no Macs have had a touchscreen. That's what iPads are for. However, hold on. You can buy touchscreen monitors that are external that will work with macOS. So it might be that there was a monitor next to the iMac that was a touchscreen monitor, and that will let you touch macOS. But yeah, the whole reason why Apple make iPads is because that's their touchscreen Mac in a way, right? But yeah, like they've never done a touchscreen Mac yet. A lot of people want it. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. But this is also why iPadOS 26, instead of making macOS more like an iPad, what they've done is the opposite. They've made iPadOS more like a Mac with the 26 update, which again, I will help get onto your iPad if I can. Because personally, I think if we can get it on there, you will love it. And the reasons are because of the more Mac-like features that 26 adds. I'm talking things like you now have a macOS style menu bar that you at the top of the screen that you can swipe down to reveal. And then in there, you have like a file edit view menu, just like the macOS that you know, where instead of having to do multiple taps in an app to do an advanced function, it could literally be like 2 mouse clicks away or finger taps away, because you have a traditional Mac menu bar at the top of the screen. I love that they've done that. And then the other big change with iPadOS 26 is that you can have as many windows as you want side by side. So you can run 4 iPad apps on the screen simultaneously, each one in the same corner. And it also has a really like good way to, you don't have to manually resize and move the windows yourself. There are preset layouts that you can just instantly select. It's very, very handy for multitasking. So, unfortunately, my iPad cannot run iPadOS 26. It's too old. But my next iPad, if I ever treat myself to one, absolutely will. Why am I not spotting anyone? Oh, sorry for the audio blip
US
there.
forces have taken this sector. Fall back and regroup in the next.
Yeah, I am surprised by your change of heart for a Mac. But I support it. They're not cheap, but they are reliable.
Regroup here. Guard your new objective.
And if you really needed to, as you know, you can still run Windows on them. But it's Windows for ARM instead of Windows for x86 processors.
Bravo 1.
And Microsoft have improved Windows for ARM a lot. But I would say that it's not on the same level as x86 yet. I think it's going to get that way because obviously with the Copilot AI PCs that you've been hearing about, the one good thing about them is that most of them are using ARM-based chips. Why? Because ARM-based chips give you better battery life, and in a laptop, battery life is really important. So in other words, MacBook Pro battery life has been good enough that Microsoft are now jealous. They're jealous of Apple Silicon, basically. So they're partnering with all the different chip makers that use ARM, because Apple Silicon is also an ARM-based chip.
We have failed to hook.
So Microsoft are partnering with the likes of Qualcomm and stuff like that to be like, hey, make us a competitor to Apple Silicon, and then we'll make a Windows laptop out of it.
Retreat. We must regroup and defend the next sector.
I think the only reason why the ROG Xbox Ally X, hey, I said the name right, is not an ARM-based chip is because of most modern games are still written for x86 instead of ARM. That's probably gonna change someday though, right? Like, it's gonna be interesting. I want to know if Microsoft's next Xbox, like their main console, I'd be interested to know if it's an ARM chip or not. It possibly won't be. But if it was, that all of a sudden would mean that game developers would have to start developing for ARM, which actually would be a good thing for Windows, a good thing for the Mac, like just good in general. I've seriously nerded out this stream. I'm sorry, everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if people don't find this interesting at all. But to a nerd like myself, it is. But yeah, I'll talk to your nan and potentially come round on Tuesday afternoon. I think that'd be fun. It's been a while. But yeah, bring your iPad, don't forget it. I want to see if we can get 26 on there. If we can, I think you'll like it a lot.
You need to head back. You've left the engagement.
For the multitasking improvements. And also, because it's more like a Mac, it'll kind of prepare you. Yeah. because you'll have the menu bar and all that stuff. Your nan loves it, by the way, because obviously she's got an iPad Pro, so obviously it runs 26 with no issue, and already she's using it more like a laptop, but it just has a touchscreen, because that's what iPads are.
Hostiles invading one of our objectives.
The thing that's weird is that on iPad OS, the menu bar, and I hope this doesn't bother your ADHD. So on the iPad, the menu bar is in the middle. On a Mac, it's justified to the left. Because of course on a Mac it's always been. It's just a weird, like, aesthetic thing, but it's there. So I just gotta warn you now. But obviously they can't center the menu bar on a Mac because the webcam's there. So I also understand why they've done that. But yeah. In the top left of an iPad it says the word iPad. I don't think it needs to say the word iPad, but it does. Oh wait, no, sorry, it says the time. I'm being an idiot. I'm looking at the top left of my iPad now. It's the date and the time. Do you know what that is really weird? That's really weird. I'm going to explain. That's really weird because on a Mac, the date and the time are in the top right. But on an iPad, they're in the top left. If they really wanted to unify their design language, they should probably move the battery indicator and the date and swap them around. That said, on a Mac, the battery indicator is also in the top right, next to the date and the time. They're probably not going to move the date and the time because it's been to the left for so long, right? I feel like if they were going to move it, they would have done it already. Maybe.
The Americans have taken the
Everything
sector.
is still in
We
its
must
usual
fall back
place.
to the next.
No, well, on a Mac, the menu bar is on the left. On an iPad, it's in the middle. It's weird. Because you've got the date and the time on the left, the battery indicator on the right, and the menu bar in the middle. Whereas on a Mac, the menu bar is on the left, the date and the time and the battery stuff is all on the right, the webcam is in the middle. So it's just like everything's still at the top of the screen, I suppose. That's where it has it in common, you know? But just the order in which they've put it. I can't believe I'm rambling on about this nerdy crap. Again, I apologize to everybody that doesn't care. But I've never really thought about it this much because I've never really realized. I'm like, huh, wait a second.
Return to the engagement. Delta 2 is no longer secure.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is. The more I think about it, the more weird that is. Huh. Anyway, I like my Mac, alright? I like my iPad. Call me an Apple fanboy if you want. Or a shill. I don't mind. And yeah, I still use Windows occasionally. I do. There's a handful of programs that are Windows only that I'm glad I'm able to run when I need
We are
to.
moving to seize Delta 2.
Although it's very rare I fire Windows up. Most of the time, it's just to make sure it's up to date.
Multiple hostiles! Near me!
Anyway, yeah. As soon as Microsoft bring Killer Instinct to PlayStation 5, that's one less thing I need Windows for. Oh man, that'll be exciting. I mean, yeah, I could save up for a ROG Ally Xbox. Sorry, a ROG Xbox Ally X, and then play KI on that, but nah. Nah. Just nah.
You need to stay out of danger.
Enemy is assaulting Delta 1.
Alpha, let me know if you have any other like Mac related or like what owning a Mac, like, or just any kind of Mac-y questions you might have. Particularly if it pertains to what you intend to do. And use it for. I'm more than happy to
Hostile
help.
force is still strong, but they've
If you
taken
can't
the
think of anything, that's fine. Obviously, you've got my number, just ask me anytime. But if anything comes to mind, I can obviously answer them now.
They are attacking Delta 2.
And yes, there are discounts on subs all the way through September, and those that are subscribed are able to rewind this stream. So if you want to hear me nerd out all over again,
Assaulting Delta 1.
like right now, you can actually rewind. Although I bet people were wishing they could fast forward. You can after this stream's over. And you're watching it back on YouTube or something. But
Reloading.
that was a good beacon placement. I'm really enjoying like the AK-24. Like it just sounds really good.
Delta 1 has been taken by hostiles. Our troops have secured objective Delta 2. You're moving off the map. Turn around.
50 meters from my position.
crazy.
One of our objectives is under attack.
How am I doing? Yeah, tier 47. Not bad, you know. Not bad, considering it's...
Our enemy has spent half their resources.
Because we still have all of Sunday. We still have all of Sunday, so...
We are initiating an attack on Delta 1.
I'm actually pretty happy with my progress right now. I think it's pretty sweet. Alpha, I think, if I recall, you were saying that this drone is on recon in 6. If it works similar to this, it might be a great way for me to get through the base leveling of the game.
Our troops have lost an objective.
We'll definitely look into it.
Squad mate down!
We have secured an objective. One of our objectives is under attack. Hostiles have secured an objective. We've lost control of one of our objectives. Friendly forces just secured Delta 2. Hostiles have secured an objective. We have a breach at one of our objectives.
Alright, it's time for me to go to... As soon as this drone is down, we gotta do, support. Yep, support time.
Hostiles cannot break through in this sector. The battle will soon be won.
One of our objectives is being invaded.
Oh my god, that logistics ribbon came in quick. Oh my god.
We are about to attack Delta 1. running out of resources.
Withdraw to the next sector. Mount your defense there.
Я не выйду.
Damn.
Defend the objectives. Do not let them take this sector. Slow the Americans down.
Quick, move!
They are attacking Echo 1.
I was trying to give you ammo.
Ammunition!
Damn it.
U.S. troops assaulting one of our objectives.
Ugh. Damn it.
Echo 1 is no longer secure. U.S. forces have taken this sector. Fall back and regroup in the next.
Take some supplies. Level stabilized.
Objective set. Hold this sector as long as you can.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy now. I want to thank anyone and everyone lurking, by the way, for doing so. I appreciate you.
Hostile activity on one of our objectives.
Actually, no, let's... There we go. Oh, someone was trying to get to me, sorry. Damn it. This is crazy.
U.S. forces attacking one of our objectives.
One of our objectives is under attack.
We can't win this battle. Our defenses in the sector are holding up well.
Oh my gosh. I have really become a Breakthrough fan on Battlefield. This game mode is fun.
Check the left side!
Enemies trying to take Foxtrot 1.
Oh my gosh.
Our defenses are strong.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we're getting a lot of medals out of the, ribbons out of this. Oh no, we're losing.
The enemy has pushed us off Foxtrot 1.
How did you die?
The Americans have the sector. You must...
I want to see if I can get that next healing. Yeah.
This is the last sector we have secured. Stop the Americans here or we fail.
Let's hold the sector. This is our last chance.
Oh my gosh. Need more healing. didn't ammo grade. Thank you.
This should help.
Logistics Ribbon 3! Yay! Well, if it isn't the variety streaming protest, I know it doesn't seem like it these days. But yes. I know it doesn't seem like it. I know, it would Jima again. But hey, we got 10 ribbons again. So that's cool.
There's nowhere left to run. We have failed.
Next game, probably the last game of this session. And then I am back this evening because once again, my brother has agreed to allow me to stay up until 10 p.m. So if you want to rejoin later tonight, Sky, you're more than welcome. W Dave, I know. I still don't feel good about it, right? Because again, the care is costing me money. Which again, that's not cool, but obviously I recognize and respect that, yeah, care shouldn't be free. There are people that are working hard in order for me to live a as normal as possible life. And, you know, it's just a reality that I need to financially contribute to that. Fair enough. But when the agency are giving me just complete crappy times, like times of day, to like, oh yeah, I know you're 36 and all, but bedtime, you know, it just sucks. And then, but I feel guilty for canceling just so I could have a few more hours when my brother has to get up early for work the next day. I mean, granted, it's the weekend, so it's not, yeah, he's not working tomorrow, but no, it should be free. Well, it used to be free. There was a time in my life where it was free. And then like several general elections and policy changes later, even though we get like, you know, we've always had benefits from the Department of Work and Pensions to help us with, you know, living our lives as disabled people. They're now deciding that, oh, some of that actually needs to contribute to your care costs. Like, real talk, for me to have 2.5 hours of care per day, so just an hour to get up, an hour to go to bed, and then like half an hour in between for someone to pop in, check if I need anything, 2.5 hours a day, that's costing my council £382.90 per week. That's how much it costs for me to exist with like just 2.5 hours of care per day, which by the way is not enough care for me to live independently. I also need help with like meal preparation and stuff like that. So in the future I'll require even more than 2.5 hours a day, 7 days a week. But yeah, as it stands, £380, £82.90 every single week of my life. Now, the contributions I've been asked to pay are not that much per week. If they were, it literally would be impossible. But yeah, I have to pay a portion of that. Actually, I'll be honest with everybody, it's 60...
The plan is to advance sector by sector. Secure each.
I think it's £69.60 per week is my responsibility. Nice, right? I know. So about £70 a week out of the 382 is the bit that they're asking for. But yeah, it's not free. But because it's also been backdated from when the care began, that's why the first bill was, yeah, I'll be transparent on Twitch and YouTube, fuck it. The first bill I was sent that I'm paying half of soon, because I can't afford the whole thing, was £669.60. And that covers my care from the 11th of June to the 17th of August. I can't afford £669.60. So I've worked out, and I've been budgeting very carefully to where I will pay half or close to it, and then the latter half next month, if possible. In the meantime, I'll receive another invoice in the post for even more, but the second invoice should be a lot smaller than the first one. So, yeah. So I want to thank again the 2 people that subscribed during this stream, my nephew Freelancer Alpha and Cal, because basically you are subsidizing my hobby now at this point and making it possible that I can still have nice things. So thank you.
Target set. Secure the new objectives and take the sector.
I feel a degree of responsibility on behalf of my country and the fine specimens that make up the voting. I don't see how the US will have, like, no, you're not responsible at all. Unless you're, no, you're not responsible at all, but I'm trying to just understand your logic. Is it that you think that our government here across the pond basically looked at policies and things that you guys do and be like, hey, that's a good idea. We didn't think of screwing over our populace that way. Yeah. I understand what you mean. Yeah, I understand what you mean, what you're saying, but no, you are not in any way responsible. If anything, Sky, you're responsible for the complete opposite of what I'm saying. Because I know you aren't able to subscribe right now. But I have not forgotten, nor will I ever forget, that you are the only tier 2 subscriber I've ever had. I haven't forgotten about that. You paid double than what Twitch asked you to subscribe to me for a very long time.
You're outside the combat area.
I have not forgotten that.
You push them back, but not far. Secure this sector.
There, Kilo, southwest.
We are about to attack Charlie 1.
Because back then, I did not think I was worth that much of a sub fee. And I still don't. But I know more about how to present a stream now than then. Yeah. Although we've just been nerding out over all sorts. Yeah, well, I've got to be honest. Fuck it, yeah. I will. I'll just be completely transparent. I'm worried about the future of the country, and I am afraid of the possibility. Again, we can all disagree on like who we think could be a good PM and all that stuff. That's totally fine. But I'm just going to give you my opinion because I can only speak for myself. Personally, I'm a bit worried about the prospect that our next PM will be Nigel Farage, leader of the Reform Party in the UK. I personally don't agree with a lot of his views. Again, no disrespect to the people that do. That's fine. Okay? We don't have to agree on everything. But I personally feel like Farage as Prime Minister and in power and like, leading the government and a lot of its policies will not be a good thing for me or people in my position. I would love to be proven wrong, but please don't blame me for being skeptical. Like, yeah. And I'm not saying that Labour have done a fantastic job. After all, if things were so great now, would I really need to be paying contributions toward my care at all, as Sky rightly pointed out a moment ago? So I'm not saying the current leadership is perfect, but I do actually think they aren't as bad as what Farage likely would be, based on actual, like, I listen to the speeches, I tune into the conferences of all parties, like as and when, if they happen to line up with my free time, I care about what happens to me, right? And who leads our country. And I feel like you can only truly have a well-rounded opinion if you listen to all sides, right? So I try to eliminate as many of my biases as possible, but I still have them.
Attack at Charlie 1.
Yeah. Comrade Albert, right, yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm worried about the future. I'm just going to be honest with everybody who's like watching now on Twitch and ever sees it on YouTube. As a disabled person, I'm worried. Because again, whenever the government want to save money, the first place they look is take from the disabled and the elderly. And part of the reason why is because there's less of us than there, like, so if you look at the general public, thankfully, the majority of them are not disabled and or elderly, right? We are a smaller segment of the population. And so, from a logical standpoint, the government is just sort of saying, how do we save money while affecting the least amount of people? We target the minorities, right? The problem is, in doing that, you're targeting the people that need the support the most, rather than the people that need it the least. So I'm more for making the wealthiest pay more tax before you ruin the finances of the most vulnerable and the poorest people in the country. Like, and if I was to win the lottery tomorrow, which isn't going to happen because I don't have a ticket, I would still feel that way. And a lot of people would probably say, like, nah, you wouldn't. No, I would. Like, because again, the wealthiest people would be able to afford it. or know enough about maintaining their wealth to know how, regardless of how high the tax is, that they would know even legal ways of managing that money better. Because obviously I'm not condoning like anybody that tries to avoid tax in any way by, you know, moving money into another country or something like that. No, I'm sure there are wealthy people that out there that pay all of their tax that they should. I'm even sure there's wealthy people out there that would wish to pay more tax if it meant that people that were struggling to could pay less. There's bound to be. Are you guys familiar with the US Social Security cap? I'm guessing, Sky, that it's literally legislation that says people on benefits cannot ever have an amount of money more than a certain amount, and if they do, they're not entitled to benefits. We in the UK have a similar thing. We have a benefits cap. And that ceiling is getting lower and lower and lower all the time. Seemingly. I'm going to emphasize seemingly, because maybe in actual fact, maybe it hasn't lowered in years. But I keep hearing chatter that they want to lower it, which is why I said what I did.